Hi all, I'm Mr. Mendoza, a second grade teacher with Web Du Bois Charter Academy at Agape Schools. I hope you enjoy this next reading on the actual book of inventions. My first recording was about a walkthrough or an introduction to the book. Hopefully you enjoy this information in this book. Inventions, written by Ned Jensen. All these cool inventions. Introduction. When you think of an invention, what comes to mind? Is it something wacky or something useful? Every day, people all over the world come up with new inventions. These inventions often give us a better way to do something. Most inventions make life easier or more enjoyable. An invention isn't always a thing. An invention can also be a process. Examples of processes are ways of making certain meals or glass, or even kinds of cheese. Cheese. This shows a 9-step process coming from making cheese. These are some different inventions. The vest, an engine-powered pogo, and a flame-throwing trumpet. Not every invention is useful. Over the years, there have been many weird inventions. All these inventions were made to fulfill a need or a want. But many of these weird inventions either didn't work or caused more trouble than good. Like that fire-blowing trumpet. More harm than good. Here's the wheel. The wheel was invented. And quickly again, just in case if you didn't watch the first one, here's the actual one of the first wheels that were used with the horse-drawn carriage. Inventions. Follow inventions. One invention often leads to another invention. For an example, let's look at the wheel. Long ago, the only way people could get from place to place was to walk. It could take days to walk long distances. Then someone invented the wheel. Next, people started putting wheels on logs and boards. These simple carts made it easier to carry goods and people over long distances. Then people started using horses, oxen, or mules to pull the carts. Riding on carts was less work than walking and made it easier for travel. In the 1800s, the gasoline engine was invented. The engine could be placed on carts and used to power them. Mules, horses, and oxen were not needed as much. Engines have led to the invention of many other things that help move people and goods from place to place. Some of these inventions are steamboats, cars, trains, and airplanes. These inventions help people and goods cross whole continents in just a few days. When it used to take many, many days or weeks of walking or being pulled on a horse, now it just takes a few days. These inventions help people and goods cross whole continents in just a few days. Over time, more inventions made engines better. Today, jet engines help planes fly all over the world very quickly. The jet engine and humans' desire to fly higher and faster led to the invention of a more powerful engine called the rocket engine. The rocket engine helps send people into space and to the moon. It took many steps and many years of inventing to get people from the first airplane, the spacecraft that took humans to the moon. Here's a history of transportation. If you want to pause it, I already read this, but if you'd like to, please feel free to pause and read it some more. Shouldn't have done that. Need is the mother of invention. Sometimes when people want to explore new places, such as the moon, or new things, such as stars, they need new inventions. It has been said that need is the mother of invention. This means that a need for something forces people to invent ways to solve that problem. New inventions can make exploration possible or easier. People wanted to explore space. Space is different from Earth. Space has no air, which means there is no oxygen and no air pressure. Space is also very cold. People would not be safe in space without the right equipment. New Horizons spacecraft lifts off from its trip to Pluto. Pluto isn't even a planet anymore. Too small, dwarf, tiny. Space exploration product spin-offs. Here are some things. I'm going to take a minute to read those things about space exploration that because of space exploration, these things were invented. The backpack this astronaut wears makes moving in space easier. Look at that beautiful astronaut. It's a great picture of an astronaut right there. Scientists needed to invent ways for people to breathe in places where there was no air. They needed to invent new materials to keep both humans and spacecraft safe from extreme temperatures. Scientists invented spacesuits and building materials that would not crush under pressure. In fact, many new products were invented because people wanted to explore space. When people invent something, they usually apply for a patent. A patent ensures that only the person who owns the patent can make or sell the invention. If you have a patent, no one else can take your idea. Complicated products like cars may have hundreds of patents for the thousands of parts used to make them. So if you invent something, you have to apply for a patent. And if you don't apply for the patent, you're going to get ripped off by somebody else. They're going to take your idea for being lazy and not getting the patent and working hard to get that patent, and it's not yours anymore. And someone gets the credit. What's happened in the past? Trust me, it has. You don't want to fall victim to that one. Here's a light bulb. Here are more light bulbs. The evolution of the light bulb. Famous inventions. There have been millions of inventions over the years. Some of them, like the invention of the light bulb, are well known. However, others are obscure. You really don't know much about them. They were invented. Okay, so what? Many inventions get better over time. For example, Thomas Edison's first light bulb, invented in 1879, has had many improvements since then. Think about how each invention in the timeline on the next page has changed and has been made better over the years. What would your life be like without these inventions? What would your life be like without the light on cars, floodlights, lights on desk, Christmas lights, a light in your desk? Famous inventions all over the world. The telephone, the light bulb, the automobile, the airplane, the refrigerator, the television, the color television, the computer, and a microwave oven. Cool, big, monstrous, beastly looking thing. And it was called the baby. It ain't no baby about that. Computers, then and now. Of all the inventions of the last 50 years, none has changed our lives more than the computer. The computer is a machine that has many parts. Many people have helped make the computer what it is today. Many historians think that a German named Konrad Zuse invented the computer. In 1941, he used old materials to build the first computer. It would be programmed. It was used to do difficult math problems. I'm wondering if that's what he made. That's something else. Do you know one of the first megacomputers could do one math operation every 15 seconds? Modern computers can do 150 billion operations in 15 seconds. Do the math. How many more? Big difference. Later, two professors from Iowa State University in the United States invented a more powerful computer. It was the first electronic digital computer. It was the size of a desk. It had more than 300 glass bulbs, glass tubes, and used 1 mile of wire. It weighed 700 pounds. That is 140 bags of flour. Imagine trying to carry 140 bags of flour from one desk to another. That is not going to happen. In 1944, two inventors worked together to build an even bigger and better computer. It was 55 feet long and 8 feet high. It filled a giant room and weighed 5 tons, or about as much as one elephant. It used lots of energy and needed a way to help keep it cool. Now, this is a beautiful looking computer called the Harvard. It was in Harvard, a university. IBM Mark I. Very well crafted. In 1947, the transistor was invented. This meant that computers would no longer need hundreds of large glass tubes, and smaller computers could be built. The invention of integrated circuits then took the jobs of many electronic parts and put them into one part. Then microprocessors were invented, which took lots and lots of integrated circuits and put them into one microchip. These improvements led to the computers we use today. But computers still needed other inventions. People needed to invent software to make the computer do different things. Also, people wanted thinner screens and mice that were easier to use. The more we want, I guess the more we invent. That's the power of the mind. We've been given great minds. Let's not let our minds go to waste by sitting idly watching TV or playing games. Even more inventions came as people discovered new things to do with the computer. The computer, a mouse, and a software allowed this boy to draw using a laptop. Computers paved the way for the internet, a whole new way of communicating, talking to each other, not just using telephones. Hey, no. Web pages, electronic mail, email, and high-speed internet connections soon followed. These things made communicating with people all over the world easy. What may computers do in the future? What might computers do in the future? What will be invented then? I remember about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, we used to have connections that they would be so slow to connect to the internet, you would have to hear beep, beep, and finally about 10, 15 minutes later, you would connect to the internet. And it was as slow as pond water, so you really couldn't do anything now. Now it's a different story. We get online, we turn on the internet, and magically it just starts happening within a minute, done. Here are some things about computers that you might not know. Invention, discovery, or creation. Have you ever wondered how an invention is different from a discovery or a creation? Discoveries are made when people first learn about things that already exist. For example, explorers are people who discover new lands. Creators are artists. Explorers explore, creators create. They don't invent. Creators are artists, composers, and writers. They make works of art, music, and stories. Vincent van Gogh was an artist who created fantastic paintings. Beethoven was a composer who created beautiful symphonies. William Shakespeare was a writer who created great plays. Inventors use existing knowledge to create new devices or processes. They make new things that they think make life better or work easier. Thomas Edison used what scientists already knew about electricity to invent the light bulb. He went on to invent many more things, such as the first movie projector. In conclusion, you might think that all the good things have been invented and that there's little left to invent. That is not true. There's always a need to make things better. With each new invention, creation, and exploration, another is sure to follow. Maybe you will be the person who will invent the next product to make life easier or more exciting for us all. But if you sit around and do nothing, then you won't invent anything. What good is just sitting there, playing the game, rotting away? Enjoy.